Good morning, everybody. Depending on the time zone you are in, we are starting the day off with an assist from Miss Deborah Voorhees, who we spoke with yesterday. Yeah. So we can either blame her or give her credit. I'm going with the give her credit because I want to keep that positive relationship. We are starting the day off with this next guest, who is an actor and producer, and he is probably best known for his roles in 13 Fanboy, but also the great line of "They hurt me, Ma" in Friday the 13th, A New Beginning from 1985 as Junior. Please welcome Mr. Ron Sloan.
Hey.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Oh,
I didn't have my full redneck. Yeah, I didn't have my full redneck on with they hurt me, Ma. But
well, they did hurt me, Ma.
How are you doing, and what's going on in your world?
Beautiful Sunday morning, and I'm so glad you're doing this for Children's Hospital in Los Angeles. Yeah, touches my heart. Absolutely. Yeah, no complaints, man. Beautiful day, and hey, all is well.
Yes, we're on this side of the ground, that's for sure. Well, you mentioned that, and obviously if folks would like the link, it's on our event page and everything else and different socials. But since you mentioned the hospital, have you had any experience in dealing with them?
Oh, no.
Visiting or whatever?
No, not visiting. I am definitely supporter of here in Arizona Children's Hospital in Phoenix and the Ronald McDonald House. I do believe in everybody supporting, at least for me, the child charities. I mean, that's close to my heart. Absolutely to my heart.
Well, I wouldn't know, but would it be close to your heart because are you a father or anything like that?
No, it's not that. I just I don't want to say children are helpless. They're just, it's our role to guide youth and take care of youth. And I mean, I have nieces and nephews, and I have neighbors who were actually taking care of their daughter, developed a type of encephalitis. And it was very touch and go, and she was taken care of, and the family, it was beautiful because they were totally taken care of, even housing, everything. At the time I lived in in Maui, and they had to be flown to Oahu. And so it was nice seeing how the charity took care of the family, put them up in hotel, took care of the children. And the young girl at the time, she was like 10 years old, and she recently graduated college. So, I'm just a believer in any way we can to help.
Right on. And I know of the Ronald McDonald House doing something similar across the country, as far as not only are they helping the kids as far as getting on the treatments and stuff like that if needed, but taking what you were saying there, taking care of the families and making sure that the family is around, immediate family and such is around, which is, I guess, a big part in the healing process. If
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I mean, families go through enough just worried about their child. They shouldn't have to worry about cost.
yeah,
You know?
yeah,
And
it's
cost get in the way of treatment.
exactly,
That's
and
how, I mean, that's me personally how I feel.
yeah, and it's. I know I referenced this several times over the event, and first off, there's the percentage is very high of how many kids CHOP or Children's Hospital LA taken without medical insurance or not enough insurance. So these programs are huge. But the other thing I reference is the Jimmy Kimmel monologue when he was talking about the issue with his son. And he was talking about, yeah, for those who don't know, his son was born with a heart defect, and they found, thank God, a nurse at the hospital noticed something was up, went to CHOP, they took care of his son and stuff. And Jimmy was saying, hey, I'm going to be okay. My son's going to be okay because we got insurance and I can pay for things for his treatment and stuff. But he was talking about just all the good that the hospital does for that he saw firsthand while he was there with his son getting the treatment. And it's just nothing but love to those, whether it be the doctors and the nurses. And he said it was just unbelievable to see everybody of different economic statutes, and they try to do a good thing and take care of everybody. And he was mentioning, he goes, that was what you just said there. He goes, nobody should have to worry about whether they're going to pay their mortgage or help keep their children alive if something comes up.
And that's true. I mean, um, truly, you would never want to have to worry about paying your electric bill, your mortgage. I mean, of course, the health of your child comes first. So I think it's beautiful with any of these charities that um, back in the old days, for me, which was a while back, in the 70s, I used to work the Jerry Lewis Telethon.
Okay.
I worked for a couple years, 2 years in a row. I worked on the Jerry Lewis Telethon, the cerebral palsy telethon. And it's interesting when people give and give from the heart. It doesn't matter whether you're giving, if you can only afford $5 or $500, it's important that we all help each other. And that's the beauty of it. And when we deal with Children's Hospital, whether it's Children's Hospital, Ron McDonald House, and so many other charities, this is a message that you're giving people hope. You're not just giving money, you're giving hope. And so that's the important thing.
Yeah, my thing is, I had some stuff going on when I was an adult health-wise, and people helped me out. And not just with that, but there were times people helped me out with the little things, but also when I had my health stuff. And my thing is, if I can do something to give back, whether it be running this thing a la like the Jerry Lewis telethon, or, whatever, if there's a little something I could do to return the favor and pass it forward, I'm all for that.
Oh, you're doing it, man.
Thank you. But, I want to bring this up and I want to open up the floor for people who are joining us on this call to fan questions and stuff. And we were talking with Deborah about it yesterday, and it's awesome how well it's been doing with the release on DVD of 13 Fanboy.
Yeah.
For your involvement of it, and since it's released both digitally and now on physical media, what have the fans been saying to you?
Oh my God. I got to tell you, it's been wonderful. I think there was, well, most of the cast are from the different Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I mean, And there's sort of been a Friday the 13th famine going on ever since the whole lawsuit and everything. And the fans have been clamoring to see a lot of their favorite horror stars. And 13 Fanboy brought this to the surface along with, oh my God, Dee Wallace. I mean, Dee,
She's
Cujo,
awesome.
beyond, beyond. I mean, you know, for the horror fans with Cujo, The Hills Have Eyes, The Howling. I mean, and she hits it a home run. And I'm very, very fortunate to be playing her husband. And we definitely had the chemistry. I feel, I think, I shouldn't say it's not acting, it's in a sense reacting. I was so in the moment with Dee. It's not difficult. You know, if you're thinking and about what you're saying and you're in your lines, that's acting, but not in a good way. When you're in the moment, it all just comes natural. You know, you don't think about what's the next words. The next words come out of your mouth because you're rehearsed, you know, in your own head and you're there. So it was so beautiful that we had this chemistry and everything flowed. I can't even think of a moment that I was thinking, okay, what's my next line? No, I was just there. So for me, that's how rewarding it was. And we have had a great relationship on set, and even continued like the screening in Los Angeles. My real wife and my movie wife were able to meet each other, you know, along with some family members, and it was just great. And those kind of relationships, I feel, are for life. You know, just like my relationship with Carol Locketel, who played Ethel Hubbard in Friday the 13th, Part 5. I mean, I see her a few times a year, if possible. We do conventions together. I even call her on Mother's Day. I mean, yeah, and we're doing Blairstown. We'll be there on Friday the 13th, May 13th, for the screening of Friday 13th Part 5, and then on Saturday, 13 Fanboy. That's by the Blairstown Diner. It's a mini convention.
Yeah.
So it's cool. I'm excited. Can't wait to see her and see the family.
And folks, if you want to ask questions, let me know in the chat, and so we could bring you up. But that's cool and you notice that with not only Friday the 13th, but several major horror series, that they're what you said there. It's a true relationship that you guys all have with each other, whether it be, like you said, you and Carol. I know you got a relationship with Deborah, obviously, and
Yeah.
you know, like it's continued on through the years, and it feels like it's, if I'm wrong, say so. It's going to be a lifelong, as long as everybody's still breathing. That relationship is solid.
No, you're absolutely correct. It is, you know, it's not that you're family necessarily with the whole cast. It's interesting because, I mean, Carol and I had it instantly. You know, when you work directly with an actor, you develop that bond. Now, I'm not saying other shows that I've done or anything, there are actors that I couldn't even tell you their name that I worked with, because there was no connection. It was a job in a sense, you know, or we didn't have a relationship. Carol and I, incredible relationship. Dee and I, incredible relationship. Deborah and I have become such great friends, but in the movie, we didn't have any scenes together. I didn't really know her. We might have talked a few times. I was friends with John Robert Dixon, who was her counterpart. And, you know, it's interesting, over the years, Deborah and I would be sitting by each other at conventions, and then we'd be taking walks or going for lunch, or, you know, and that's how the friendship started. And I'm very fortunate because, I mean, we have a great relationship. She gave me a wonderful opportunity for with 13 Fanboy, and it's the best role I've ever had in my life. and it's just continuing on from there. I'm so fortunate. I just signed on with an agent in Albuquerque, New Mexico, DME Talent. Uh, um, they're awesome, man. And there's some good stuff coming up in the near future. So I'm very lucky, very blessed, very
Well,
blessed.
speaking of Albuquerque, New Mexico, why don't we start our first fan question of the day from Ray, who lives in New Mexico. So Ray, come on up.
Hi, Ron Sloan.
Hey Ray, how are you, man?
Pretty good from Las Cruces, New Mexico. I go to Albuquerque sometimes, but I was going to ask you. It's kind of hard to pick a question, but what did you think about your character when he got, when you guys went about the killing scene, like when he was, right when Tommy just beat you up? What went through your head at the time when you were trying to film that part to get killed?
Well, it's a good question, because we rehearsed the fight scene with Dick Warlock, who was the stunt coordinator. And Dick was showing John Shepard how to punch. Well, Dick actually connected and knocked me down on the ground. I was seeing stars. So when John went to do the scene also, I'm sorry to say, he connected too. That was a rough scene. I gotta tell you, in rehearsals, I was knocked out. So, it was an interesting scene in some respects, a little painful at times. There was a stunt double. I was not the only one riding the motorcycle. I rode the motorcycle. You saw my close-ups and things like that. But I didn't ride the motorcycle on the porch. That was a stuntman doing that. So, yeah, I'd like to take credit, but it was Gene Harlan was my stunt double. Gene Harlan. He was cool, man. And but yeah, and part of my audition, everything, I had to ride a motorcycle and make sure everything I was could handle it. And yeah, does that answer your question? Or
Oh yes, thank you, and very good character though, by the way.
thank you, brother.
I enjoyed the part. I was like laughing, but it was a really good character.
Thanks. Yeah, I like being comic relief. Carol and I are definitely the funny ones in the movie.
Absolutely. So I gotta ask, and Noel, excuse me, come on up. But before, as we're getting set up there for the next person, I found it interesting that you recently obtained a head that was your. So how did that come across?
Well, actually, it wasn't recently. It was actually 2 years after making the movie. So it was about 1987. I had an audition at Las Palmas Studios in Hollywood. And as I left the studio, I noticed there was a building, it was called Real Effects. And I was like, wow, those are the guys that made my head and did like special effects for Friday the 13th. So I knocked on the door, and I told the guy that I was in Friday the 13th Part 5, and that you guys made my head, and was there any way I could buy it? And he said, walk this way. And it was like walking through a Costco of horror. I mean, we're talking, it was like a big soundstage filled with just body parts and dinosaurs, all sorts of crap. And he climbs a ladder, and my head is sitting on a shelf next to Sylvester Stallone. I guess it was done in alphabetical order or something. And as he takes the head down, he says, hey man, your head's been working more than you have. Matter of fact, we shot you in the back of the head last week. And he turns it around, and the hair's all gone, everything. And there's a big hole in the back of the prosthetic. He takes it, he puts it in the bag. He goes, here, man, we don't need it anymore. So that's how I got it. And as I was leaving the studio, I bumped into Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think he was shooting True Lies at the time. and he's there in his big terry cloth robe, smoking a cigar on the back of the soundstage. And I was going to say something to him, and I thought, dude, you got a head in the bag. I don't think that this is a wise decision to stop. And that's how I got it.
Awesome. Now, our next fan question, I guess you would call it, actually mentioned to me a few minutes ago that they actually met you during involvement with 13 Fanboys. So
Cool.
So would we like to go ahead and bring something up there?
Hi, Ron. It's Noelle.
Hey,
Hi.
congratulations.
Oh, thank you. I'm assuming you're talking about the baby.
Absolutely. You should put the baby up on the screen. I would love to see the baby. I haven't seen pictures
I'll
on
have to go get her then. Yeah, I met up with Adam Marcus not long after she was born, and he got to
Aw.
hold her, and he's taking pictures and sending it to
Aw,
his wife, Deborah. Like, I'm holding Noelle's baby.
that's so cool. I mean, that's awesome.
Thank you. Actually, my question was because of having the honor of holding your head on the set of 13 Fanboy.
I have a picture of
Uh,
that.
I did, yeah. That was actually my question. Is I wanted you to tell the story to the fans of how you retrieved your head, and just letting people know where that is. Well, I was going to ask, like, where does your head live now? So that was
Actually,
actually
it's in the other room right now. I could bring it in. It sits on my desk in my office. Yet we have to every now and then put it in the closet because like family will come over, and we have a sofa bed in my office. So of course I have to hide it and everything when family comes over. And I have a lot of little, oh my God, so beautiful. Oh, what a blessing.
she'll be 6
Wow.
months old already this month, if you believe it.
Wow. Wow.
Congrats. I actually remember seeing the pictures that she has brought up about Adam Marcus holding him, and I'm surprised he got permission to hold the baby, but that's a whole nother thing, knowing Adam.
But he's special.
Oh,
He's special. Like, 'cause I worked
here-
with him on Hearts of Darkness, which is the poster behind me. So
Yes.
there's his head. Yay.
my wife just brought the head in.
Nice.
Well, luckily I don't look like this anymore. My head was 70 pounds heavier. I was 70 pounds heavier than I am now when I shot
Oh boy.
Friday the 13th part 5. Thanks, honey.
He got the assist from the wife, I'm
That's
guessing.
right, with like Vanna White. I'm lucky. I'm so lucky.
Oh, that is awesome.
I'm gonna
And-
let other people have questions. It's nice seeing you again, Ron.
Sending you a hug, and maybe I'll see
Hug.
you soon.
Maybe in Blairstown.
Oh, I hope so. Oh, very cool.
Maybe. Okay.
That's awesome.
And I
Right.
hope you bring the baby. Maybe.
Probably. I will probably bring the baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. It's not not old enough to just leave a couple bottles in the crib and go, all right, I'll see you in a few days.
that's
Yeah,
so
not quite yet.
Yeah.
Noelle, have Jason Bradford make a little mini mask to put on the baby.
Oh my God, he totally would too. I
He
have a
would.
13 Fanboy onesie that Christy Fontenot and Lisa Perez had bought me, but I'm not sure she fits it anymore. I might have to get another one, a little pink
That's-
13 Fanboy onesie.
There we
so.
go. There we go. That's
All right,
cool.
I'll have her all
And-
dressed up. Good idea.
And Mark, if you're listening to this, I know you're not on the call yet, but I like that idea of getting a mask done for the little one. So we have another outlet for that as well too. So
That's
thank you.
Thanks.
But Mr. Aaron, good morning, sir. I know you're usually bright-eyed and bushy-tailed up in Massachusetts.
Yes, hi. I don't know if I'm a morning person, but I'm awake.
Yes.
Hey, Ron, thanks for taking the time to talk with us.
Oh, thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, no, this is great. I actually just ordered 13 Fanboy yesterday, and I got a notification from Amazon saying it's out for delivery. So I can't wait to
Woo!
check it out. I haven't seen it yet. So I guess my first question is, for those who haven't seen it, what would you say about the movie to get them to want to watch it?
Oh my God. Well, first of all, if you're a horror fan at all, I mean, this is definitely a must. I mean, you got wonderful, wonderful performances. I mean, you have C.J. Graham who played Jason. You got Kane. Come on, Kane. Kane has a scene in this film that's going to totally blow your mind. Totally blow your mind. You know, what's nice about the film is everybody in this film pretty much plays themselves except for Corey Feldman. Corey plays a sleazy movie producer. And so it's kind of interesting to see the warm side of Kane, you know. You don't, everybody always thinks of like Kane and CJ as being these, you know, mean, tough guys, you know.
That's only Kane. That's the mean, tough guy. No.
Yeah, well, Kane, you'll be touched by his performance. He did a great job. And CJ, you know, he's a sweetheart too. So everybody, it was so much fun. Matter of fact, you know, Carol has a quick clip, a cameo in the movie. And when behind the scenes, she was feeling at one point a little tired. And I was kidding around. I bought her a Red Bull. And I have a picture of Carol and I drinking Red Bull. And she had never had one before. It was just hilarious. It was cute. It was very cute. Ethel drinking Red Bull. But yeah, I think, first of all, this is a thriller. There's a difference, you know, with Friday the 13th or Halloween or Nightmare on Elm Street. These are all, for the lack of a better term, almost a mythical type character. It's these quote unquote monsters never die per se. Well, in 13 Fanboy, this is a serial killer. This is scary. In some respects, scarier, because this is real. It definitely has happened and could happen in a sense. I mean, some of the actresses, and I won't mention names, did and do have stalkers. One in particular has gone to court over it. So this idea that there is a fan who's a stalker definitely is and can be real. So that's, to me, more frightening than, you know, you're not going to have Jason or Michael or Freddie living next door like normal, but you could have a crazy person living next door. So there's that element of thriller and horror, because it is, I don't want to say exactly a slasher movie, but there is a high body count, and many people donate blood in this film.
Awesome. I can't wait to check it out. Maybe tonight.
Oh yeah, you're gonna dig
if it arrives. Yeah, it looks cool.
Don't watch it alone.
And I'll watch it in the dark. I guess another follow-up question I have is, do you watch some of the newer horror movies that are coming out, like on Shudder? They've produced some amazing films. What is your take on that?
Because on one hand, I'd like to say I'm not a horror buff per se. I'm not knowledgeable in a lot of different horror genres, but like the other day we watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the new one, Halloween Kills. You know, I mean, part of my enjoyment in doing that and being a little bit up to date is because I see all these guys at horror film conventions, you know. And I'd like to say from the heart, hey, man, you did a great job. You know, I don't want to just say, hey, you did a great job, but I never saw the film. So it's interesting because I guess, you know, in the horror genre, it's an extended family. But I know personally, I did Flashback Weekend in Chicago this last year. And there was a line of people waiting over for the Michael Myers stuff. Nick Castle, I know Nick. I had dinner with Nick that weekend. And thanks to Ethel, Carol Locatell and her husband, Greg, they're great friends with Nick. So we all went out to dinner and introduced me to him. But people were waiting in line by my line. And I kept on just having fun and swam. Come from the dark side, come to, you know, it was like just so much fun trying to sway the true Halloween followers to the Friday the 13th I mean, it's almost like two clans, two families. Um, the Hatfields and McCoys. I mean, you guys are diehard fans. You're either a diehard fan for Halloween or you're a diehard fan for Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mhm.
Cool. It's cool.
Awesome. Thank you. Jonathan,
Yeah.
I'll turn it back on over to you. Thank you. That was great.
Thank you, sir.
Take care. For the movie.
I'm curious to know, Ron, because you talked about convention appearances and stuff like that. So I always find this fun to ask, what is the coolest thing you ever signed, but also what's the strangest thing somebody tried to ask you to sign?
Well, the coolest thing, I think there was an amazing electric guitar. And this guy had, for whatever reason, I mean, he had easily 100 signatures on this. And I mean, I was honored to sign it. I just had to find a place. And, you know, in your head, you always worry, okay, I don't want to screw this up. What's my name? No, you know, I mean, it's like you just,
Tom Hanks.
oh my God, you got to fit it between, you know, two other people and you're almost upside down. And so that was pretty cool. Bizarre, there hasn't been anything. I mean, I've been signing flight caps. You know, Junior wears a leather flight cap. I've had a couple now autographs on flight caps. That was interesting doing that. It's mostly just the normal stuff, you know, DVD, Blu-rays. I mean, a big, what's the old laser discs?
Yeah.
I've only seen, I own one. I've only signed one other. I have not seen, so that's, those are pretty cool and out there. Nothing bizarre, you know, the machetes and things like that. But nothing weird, nothing, now that you've asked, now the next convention, I'm sure something bizarre is going to show up in Blairstown.
Yeah. And, you know, it's funny because I joke about that with, like you mentioned, the flight caps and stuff like that. And become very friendly with Lauren Marie Taylor from Part 2. And we go back and forth. I'll shoot her a text, you know, teasing, obviously, and say, yeah, because she always jokes about the brown underwear being the vein of her existence because of her scene in the movie. So I'll find a picture on sale, like say Walmart, pack of underwear on sale, and I'll shoot her to like just, you know, take that little slight jab at her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, you know, and she'll say something sarcastic back and whatnot, being the Brooklyn girl she is, and it's, you know, it's all good, but oh man. So
Well,
it's always
Tracy Savage, you know, is in 13 Fanboy, and there's reference to because she was in a blue bikini when she did Friday the 13th. So there is reference in
okay.
Fanboy to the blue bikini, and I bet you anything, if you ever interview her, she's probably signed 50 blue bikinis. I wouldn't be surprised, you know, anything that's associated to your character.
Me neither, and would love to talk to Tracy someday. But you mentioned earlier, and I gotta ask, you spent time living in Hawaii.
17 years on Maui.
Yeah. So what took you to Hawaii?
Oh, I had a good buddy who lived there, and I visited. And every time I left, I was like, wow, man, why am I leaving? I just found my heart. Spiritually, it was just a magical place for me. And I ended up moving there and living on a little farm, 5 acres, and having fresh fruit and vegetables. And I became a director of an art gallery there. And I just enjoyed it. Met my wife on the island. We stayed there together 14 years, and then we moved here to the mainland. And so it's now our time here, which allows me to work as an actor and travel and do conventions, because living on Maui, they didn't want to really pay my way from Maui to New York to do a convention. You know, it's difficult. So now I'm more accessible.
Yeah, but the mana is great in Hawaii, that's for sure.
Ooh. And fresh seafood, man. Ooh.
Who would thought an island and you get fresh seafood?
God, every daily, you know, I mean, I was a tournament fisherman, So, but only catch, I mean, if you're gonna catch something, you eat it or release, you know, you never, yeah, that's how it works. I only
Yeah.
catch what we're gonna eat.
And nothing wrong with mahi mahi, that's for sure.
Woo.
Especially from that part of the world.
Oh, yeah.
But you mentioned the conventions and stuff, and we only got a few more minutes. Thank you, Ron, for joining us. But what else do you have coming up besides the Blair's Fair?
Well, besides Blairstown, there's Sioux City SuperCon. It's in Sioux City, South Dakota, and it is for charity. So this is, it's called SuperCon. If you Google it or go on Facebook, there's probably a link on my page. And this is their first year where they're going to have a section of horror. So we are screening, I believe, 13 Fanboy there. You have actually CJ Graham is going to be there along with myself, Deborah, Voorhees, I believe Haley Reese Greenbauer. You know, she's a star of 13 Fanboy, and she's an amazing actress. And so that's coming up in October, September 30th through October 2nd. And then we'll see whoever else wants the family at a convention, you know, not booked on anything else yet, but definitely open to it if anybody wants Carol and I and Deborah. So we're our own little mini family.
Exactly. And be careful with, since it's in South Dakota, because knowing CJ, he might jump on and ride his horse out there.
Oh, he could. He easily could.
Because I know he's a proud horse owner, so.
He's a good guy. He is a good guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's a total sweetheart.
Awesome. So final question for me is, unless anybody else has anything, where is the best place for folks to find you on social media and such?
Well, you know, I'm not a huge social media guy. I am on Facebook, and actually this week I signed up for Instagram, but I haven't answered anything yet. I'm hard on friend requests and stuff just because of all the hacking and everything. But yeah, Facebook, I mean, I look at Facebook every day, and I guess I'll dust off and start on Instagram. I'm just not sure how to use it. Like Facebook, I guess. You know, so, but please come to the conventions, and if you can refer us to a convention, that's cool. You know, I know someone's trying to get us into Scarefest in Kentucky, you know, and if it's not this year, then maybe next year. But I love meeting fans at conventions. It's cool. It's cool. And I greatly appreciate the fans. The energy is wonderful. It really is.
And I will joke and say, if you want to call Ron at 818, no, I'm teasing. No, I'm teasing.
Don't freak me out, man.
Yeah, just be respectful of the time zones now. But all kidding aside, Ron, thank you so much. And
Hey, my pleasure.
I hope to see you in Blairstown, because I am in the Northeast. So
Are you coming?
I'm going to try.
Oh, you're going to do more than try, man. You're there.
Right. Yeah, I'll be there.
I'll entice you. You'll get something for free when you show up.
All right.
I'm
Right
just saying,
on.
I'll tell you what it is. It could be a kiss from Ethel for all you know, but you know.
I heard she's good with the tongue. But never mind, we won't go there. But
No, I don't know personally.
well, yeah, well, that would
chopping up the tongue and putting it in her stew.
that's what I was. That's what I was leaning at, because, you know, I know the character you get him. There you go, Noelle. Get a middle finger from her.
That's the important. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want,
But what I was gonna say was, with the characters you played, and the kind of joke I just made, it's the old story is it's better to go down the hall than down the street, but we can't go further with that because it's early in the morning. So
yeah, somewhere.
Yes. Ron, thank you so much.
Many blessings, you guys, and thank you for tuning in. And please, if you have a chance to help out your favorite charity, whether it's Children's Hospital, Ronald McDonald House, just know you're giving from the heart.
Yes.
It's not, don't look at the wallet, give from the heart and give what you can.
And appreciate the time, sir. Thank you. And
Great, thank you,
we will
John.
be in touch.
Absolutely. Take
And
care.
take care.